A very good evening to you and welcome to the Business Day. I'm Dwayne Burbick. The country's net international reserves, NIR, jumped to a record $3.7 billion in August. This after it increased by more than 935 million US. The peak is, however, expected to be short-lived because the increase was due to the inflow of the 869 million US dollars which the government borrowed last month. Now, some of that money will be used to pay 500 million US dollars in debt, which comes due in September. However, at the levels the NIR was at the end of August, it was capable of purchasing 45 weeks of imports. Still talking money, the US dollar, it's costing an average $129.95. The Canadian dollar is selling for $106.61. The pound sterling costs $169.24, while the euro is going for $157.79. Chairman of Barita Investments, Rita Humphries-Lewin, says she's expecting the deal to sell a majority stake in the company to be completed by October. Mrs. Humphries-Lewin made the disclosure in an interview with business editor Dashan Hendricks after a bell-ringing ceremony at the Jamaica Stock Exchange earlier today.
With the toll of a bell, Rita Humphries-Lewin, the chairman of Barita Investments, celebrating the 40th anniversary of her company's creation, also signaled the start of trading on the stock exchange on Thursday. For her, the hope is that this will be among her last appearances in an official capacity.
I think I'm ready to retire.
But just like 8 years ago when Mrs. Humphries-Lewin listed Barita Investments on the Jamaica Stock Exchange to ensure its continuity, she's now looking to do the same through divestment.
I'd like to see the company continue, and families are not, my family is not fit for, I don't have anybody to pass it on to.
In early August, the company filed a report with the stock exchange saying it received an offer from an unnamed entity. That offer came from the Mark Myers-led Cornerstone United Holdings, the same company which a year ago acquired MF&G Trust and Finance. Mrs. Humphries-Lewin says negotiations are well advanced, though halted for the moment.
We have postponed it because of this anniversary, and maybe towards the end of the month in October. We might be looking, we told them that.
So you expect to seal up the deal with them by the end of this month, towards October?
Well, I think we have sealed the deal, but we needed this space to do the anniversary.
She wouldn't get into details citing stock exchange rules, so no word on the value of the offer. Barita's share price, however, suggests it's worth just under $3.9 billion. Not all shares will be sold. Mrs. Humphries-Lewin said she wants Barita Investments, which is the oldest brokerage house in the island, to remain on the stock exchange.
I've encouraged them to not take all of it, because once they don't want to come off the stock exchange. But then you must keep 100 shareholders.
For the Business Day, I am Dashan Hendricks.
JAS President Norman Grant says the directors of the entity have approved a proposal to engage a financial advisor with the aim of raising funds through an initial public offering IPO and listing on the stock exchange. Mr. Grant didn't say when the money will be raised, but he outlined how much he's looking to raise and what the money will be used for.
We are hoping to raise somewhere in the region of about $500 million over 5 years to complete the expansion here, complete the Dembe Hotel and Farmers Conference Room. We want to also utilize the funds to construct parish pavilions, arena and more buildings for rental, and also to really take the Dembe product to a global level.
Mr. Grant was speaking after signing an agreement with the University of the Commonwealth Caribbean, UCC, for it to establish a campus at the Denby Showground. He says the development of the grounds will also allow it to be rented for various events as part of utilizing it all year round. Berger Payne says its board is now studying the offer document for its outstanding shares. The offer, which is being made by Answer Coatings, is for the 49% of Berger Paints it now does not own. Answer Coatings recently acquired 51% of Berger and intends to to acquire the rest of the shares and delist the company. Its offer price of $10.88 per share, which values the outstanding shares at $1.1 billion. The directors of Berger Paints say they are now studying the offer and will seek advice before making a recommendation to shareholders. Finally, this evening, stocks closed mostly higher, pushing the JSE index up 2,411 points, while the junior market index lost 26. The winners of the day included AMG Packaging and Paper, Cargo Handlers, Express Catering, ISP Finance, Jamaica Stock Exchange, the Sagicor Group, and T-Tech. On the losing end were 1834 Investments, Cable and Wireless, Diamond Trading, JMB Group, Main Event Entertainment, Paramount Trading, and Supreme Ventures. And that's your Business Day. I'm Dwayne Burbick. Have a great evening.